Have you ever found yourself caught in a strange repeating cycle, where the very thing you fear is exactly what keeps happening? You fear being hurt, and someone breaks your heart. You fear losing your job, and one day you'll let go. You fear losing the one you love, and somehow they slip away. This isn't coincidence. It's not bad luck or some cruel twist of fate. It is a law, a spiritual law as precise as mathematics. And Florence Scovel Shinn called it the law of spiritual sowing and reaping. In her classic The Game of Life and How to Play It, she wrote, "Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." Most people only apply this to their actions, but they forget every thought, every fear, every word you whisper to yourself is a seed. And the universe, impartial and exact, returns to you the same kind of seed you've planted. The deeper truth: you don't attract what you want. You attract what you repeat in your mind with strong emotion and deep belief. And unfortunately, most of us believe most deeply in the negative. Someone who fears illness constantly. They draw sickness closer. Someone who's always anxious about money. They call in financial struggle. Someone terrified of loneliness will often feel alone, even in a crowded room. Why? Because your imagination is the most powerful creative tool you possess. And your subconscious mind, like a loyal gardener, will water and grow any image you feed it, again and again, with emotion. Florence called imagination the scissors of the mind. It cuts out pictures you hold long enough, and reality follows. That's why fear can kill a dream faster than failure ever will. When you fear something strongly, you imagine it. And when you imagine it long enough, you believe it. And when you believe it, you start broadcasting it. And that's when what you fear starts heading your way. Just like a radio transmitter, your mind sends out a frequency. And the law of attraction doesn't judge right or wrong. It simply returns the strongest signal you're putting out. This is why Florence insisted her students change their words, change their thoughts, and change their beliefs. Because your word is your wand. When you say "I'm scared," you're casting a spell in reverse. When you complain, "I always have bad luck," you're planting seeds for the next storm. When you think "no one really loves me," you're sealing your own heart shut. But here's the good news. You can start again, right now. You can begin to plant new seeds of peace, trust, and inner power. You can use your imagination to create a new picture, one where you are loved, supported, and whole. This isn't fantasy. This is a spiritual system that's been quietly at work for thousands of years. And Florence Scovel Shinn helped tens of thousands open new doors in their lives simply by changing what they sowed each day. So if you've found yourself repeatedly attracting what you fear, don't panic. Don't blame yourself. Just take a breath and ask, what have I been planting in my mind? What words have I been repeating to myself? Am I imagining what I desire or what I fear? If you're brave enough to answer that honestly, then you've already taken a step out of the invisible trap you've been stuck in. And if you're ready to walk this new path fully, I'll walk with you. In the next section of this journey, I'll share with you 5 foundational secrets of the law of sowing and reaping to help you stop attracting what you fear and start drawing in what your soul actually longs for. The law of cause and effect is a divine spiritual law. Have you ever lived kindly, done the right thing, helped others, yet still found yourself betrayed, misunderstood, unlucky, or lacking what your heart longs for? Florence Scovel Shinn would smile. Not because you're wrong, but because you've just touched on one of the greatest paradoxes of spiritual law. Life doesn't return. What you do, it returns what you believe. The law of cause and effect at its deeper level is not merely sow an action, reap a result. It's sow energy, reap reality. You may work hard, speak kindly, do good every day, but if deep down you still believe you're unworthy, not good enough, or unsafe, the universe will respond to that frequency. Florence once wrote, "There is no peace or happiness for man until he has erased all fear from the subconscious. You can force a smile with your will, but if your subconscious is weeping, your life will still tremble in fear. So, what are we truly sowing? Not outer actions, but rather the silent thoughts you think when you look in the mirror, the emotions you feel when someone else succeeds, the images you picture for yourself when no one's watching, and the words you casually mutter, "I always fail. Maybe I'll never make it. Money comes and goes." Each of these, each thought, each word is a seed. The subconscious cannot tell the difference between a joke and a belief. It simply records and plays it back into your physical life. Florence once said, "The mind is like a movie theater. What you imagine you project onto its screen. And if you keep replaying the same image, whether it's beautiful or terrifying, that theater will bring it into your lived experience." You think you're attracting bad luck? No. You're simply replaying the same negative film until it becomes your reality. A woman once came to Florence heartbroken after being betrayed again in love, despite always loving fully. But after some gentle questions, Florence uncovered a hidden belief buried deep in her: "I'm not good enough to be kept." That belief, not her loving actions, was the true seed she had sown. And life returned it to her, faithfully. Change only began when she dared to plant a new seed. She repeated this affirmation Florence gave her: "I am loved, valued, and divinely protected in every relationship." Slowly but surely, her reality shifted because a new seed had taken root. So before blaming fate, return to yourself and ask, what am I sowing today? With what emotion? With what belief? You might be sowing love, but from a fear of losing. You might be sowing effort, but with a belief that I'm never enough. You might be sowing prayer, but wrapped in the energy of anxiety. And then you wonder why your harvest is so mixed even when you've done everything right. The truth is, you're not wrong. You've just been sowing from the wrong layer. And you can begin again right now. Florence teaches sow with faith, with words of light, with the images you truly wish to see. Each time you say, "I deserve what is good," you're planting a new seed. Each time you visualize a life of freedom, peace, and abundance, you're reprogramming the theater of your mind. Healing doesn't come from forcing yourself to think positive. It comes from consciously changing the energy you're planting at the subconscious level. If you're on the path of transformation, I invite you to share in the comments below. What limiting belief have you sown before? And what new truth are you choosing to plant today? Your comment isn't just a share, it's a seed of light for someone else who's reading. Let this video be the fertile soil where our awakening community plants new beginnings together. And in the next part, I'll reveal the silent enemy of your sowing process. Fear, the thing that seems like it's protecting you, but is actually the gate blocking the good from reaching you. Stay tuned, because misunderstanding fear is how so many people unknowingly plant negative seeds every single day. Fear is faith, turned upside down. Close your eyes for a moment and think about what's worrying you most right now. Maybe it's money. Maybe it's a relationship that's falling apart. Maybe it's a decision that's left you torn between moving forward or stepping back. Now, ask yourself, why does this scare me? If you listen closely, you'll realize fear is not some random reaction. It's the symptom of a misplaced belief. Fear only exists when you believe the negative is more likely than the positive. And that's when you begin planting seeds of fear instead of seeds of faith. Florence Scovel Shinn didn't see fear as an enemy to fight. She saw it as a gentle reminder. You're putting your trust in something that was never meant for you. Imagine standing before two doors. One reads, "Faith in the light." The other, "Faith in failure." Every time you feel afraid, you're unconsciously reaching for the second door. Each time you think, "I won't have enough money," you step further into that room. Each time you say, "They'll leave me," you light up the space of misplaced faith. Florence called it faith inverted. Instead of believing in the good, you're putting your trust in what you don't want. And as the law of cause and effect says, you don't reap what you wish for, you reap what you believe is possible. Have you ever found yourself stuck in a loop like this? You fear losing your job, so you dwell on it daily. You work defensively. You miss out on a promotion because of self-doubt. And then you lose the job. You fear being abandoned, so you try to control the one you love. You become clingy, suspicious, overbearing, and then they walk away. You fear not having enough, so you hold on tightly to every dollar from a place of lack. You turn down opportunities thinking I'm not ready, and then you still lack. See what happened. Fear quietly rewrote the script of your life. It made you react instead of choose. It shaped your habits, your words, your tone, your face, your energy every single day. So what does Florence suggest? She doesn't say, stop being afraid. She invites you to replace fear with a higher kind of faith. Each time you tremble, say, I reject fear because God is working miracles for me, through me and in me. When fear arises, don't push it away. Whisper gently, I know you're just a reminder. But now I choose to believe in something higher. And here's the truth. Faith, just like fear, grows by how you feed it. If you speak that light-filled truth every day, every hour, if you envision yourself living in safety, abundance, and love, if you affirm instead of complain, then a new seed will begin to sprout, and fear will slowly lose the soil it needs to survive. Florence taught no man can fail if some one person sees him successful. And that person can be you, the first to see yourself rising above fear, succeeding, thriving, and living free. If you're on a journey to transform fear, I invite you to share a simple message with this community. I am learning to believe in something better. Or, I am shifting my faith from fear to light. No details needed. Just the courage to say it out loud that alone plants a new seed in your subconscious. And who knows, someone else might read your words and find the courage to begin their own journey too. In the next part, we'll explore the power of imagination, a sacred gift we all have, which when placed in the hands of fear, becomes the projector of life's darkest scenarios. Stay with me, because you're about to learn how to reclaim the screen of your own mind. Imagination, the invisible director of your life's movie. Have you ever watched a movie and just a few scenes in already knew how it would end? That's exactly how imagination works. A quiet, unseen director writing the script of your life. Scene by scene, moment by moment. Florence Scovel Shinn called imagination the scissors of the mind, cutting and shaping reality. It's not the first word you speak. It's not even the actions you take. It all begins with the images you silently repeat in your mind each day. If your mind is a theater, imagination is the projector. What you envision is what will be shown on the screen of your experience, colored by your emotions, voiced by your energy. Take a moment and observe your day. What movie are you projecting when you check your bank balance, you send a message and don't get a reply right away? You see a vague email from your boss. You drive somewhere unfamiliar or try something new. Most of the time we imagine the worst-case scenario. We live like we're rehearsing for failure, planning for loss, preparing for crisis. No one taught us to do this. It's just what we've gotten used to. Florence didn't blame anyone for that. She understood that imagination had been programmed by fear, by the past, by the world around us. But she offered a way out, the power to rewrite the mental script on purpose. A young woman once came to Florence haunted by the belief that she would never be truly loved. Every day she pictured her partner leaving. She saw the breakup play out in her mind. She heard the voice whisper, "He's going to get tired of me." And even though he never gave her reason to doubt, she treated him like he was already walking away. Guess what happened? That repeated image over and over sent a powerful signal to her subconscious, to her energy, to her behavior. She became the person who created the very thing she feared. Florence taught you combine with what you notice. You harmonize with whatever you focus on, even if it exists only in your imagination. So how do we flip the script? How do we turn imagination into an ally instead of a saboteur? Don't wait for the good to arrive before you feel good. Visualize it as if it's already here. Not a fantasy, but a spiritual pathway, clearing the way for future reality. I see myself walking in success. I see my life full of divine love. You don't have to force belief. You just have to see. Hold the image like a painting in your mind's eye. But images alone aren't enough. They need to be wrapped in real feeling. You must feel the lightness, the joy, the peace, as if it's already yours. The more often you repeat the image with heartfelt emotion, the more your vibration changes. And as Florence said, nothing ever happens without an equivalent picture in the imagination. Even if you envision good things but still speak negatively, you unknowingly rip up the script. So each image needs to be supported by a matching affirmation. Everything is unfolding for my highest good. I see myself receiving the very best. I am one with the universe, co-creating miracles. Try this simple practice today. Close your eyes for 2 minutes. Picture a moment you deeply long for. Feel the sound, color, and sensation of it fully. Say aloud, I choose to hold this image. This is the seed I am planting. Repeat daily, and you'll be transforming your life without even leaving the room. I invite you to share in the comments. The new image I am planting is Unmotschomen Ballenkrus. Even one line will help you start to take control of the invisible projector of your mind. And you'll be amazed to discover there are hundreds of others quietly rewriting their scripts, just like you. In the next part, we'll step into the most powerful tool of all the true magic wand in Florence's philosophy, the spoken word. Your words are more than sound. They are commands sent to the subconscious and the universe. If imagination is the screen, then speech is the broadcast signal. Are you ready to learn how to transmit the reality you truly desire? The power of the spoken word. Your true magic wand. Do you remember the last time you spoke a deeply emotional sentence and life seemed to immediately respond in that very direction? Florence Scovel Shinn taught, your word is your wand filled with magic and power. What you speak isn't just sound. It is a potent creative tool capable of healing, attracting or destroying depending on how you wield it. In her book, Your Word is Your Wand, Florence shares the story of a woman who had only $2 left in her purse. Florence told her to affirm, as money goes out immediately, money comes in under grace in perfect ways. I see it always crammed, jammed with money. Soon after, the woman was gifted $6,000, a miracle born from unwavering faith spoken aloud. Your words may be the only subjective command you send to the universe, yet they hold the power to convert the invisible into the visible. Florence explained, death and life are in the power of the tongue. It may sound heavy, but it's a liberating truth. You are not being punished. You are simply planting seeds. Say I'm broke. You sow lack. You reap lack. Say I'm unlucky. You sow negativity. Life becomes unstable. But dare to say I am abundant, or I love my life. You sow joy. Life begins to bloom. A gentle but vivid example. Each morning, instead of scrolling through bad news, try whispering, today is a day of completion. I give thanks for this perfect day. Miracle shall follow miracle, and wonders shall never cease. Say it slowly. Let each word touch your subconscious. Repeat it just a few times enough for your heart to respond, and you'll be amazed how life starts answering back in its own magical way. Why is spoken word so powerful when combined with faith and imagination? It gives direction to your imagination. The images in your mind need to be broadcast through speech. When picture and words support each other, you're programming your consciousness to follow the right path. Emotion is the active energy. When you speak with belief, each phrase becomes a seed infused with vibrant energy. It transforms your outer world by shifting the inner. Florence said, the only person to change is yourself. As you change, all the conditions around you will change. You don't need to force others to change or beg for what's out of reach. You simply need to command your own words, for they are your personal magic wand. Each morning and each night before sleep, choose a gentle affirmation that brings peace. For example, endless good now comes to me in endless ways. My supply is endless, inexhaustible, and immediate, and comes to me under grace in perfect ways. Speak it aloud or whisper it, but let it feel safe and real as you say it. Avoid speaking in negative terms or backhanded phrases. Don't say I'm not afraid of lacking money. Say instead, I choose to live in abundance. If you've ever experienced a miracle, even a small one, from something you once said aloud, share it below. The spoken word that changed my life was, "When mana." Even one sentence could light the path for someone else. In the next part, we'll explore the final yet deeply important key: how to align faith, spiritual words and imagination with action, so that what you plant becomes more than a mindset, it becomes your lived reality. The doorway to a new reality. You've probably heard the phrase "believe it, and you will see it." But Florence Scovel Shinn offered something even deeper. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is not positive thinking or some dreamy hope. It's the subtle yet potent energy that gives form to what does not yet exist. In Florence's entire body of teaching, faith is the final and most essential key. It's the electrical current that completes the circuit between your imagination, your words, and the law of attraction. You can visualize a beautiful life. You can speak words of light. But if deep down you still doubt, still worry, still prepare for the worst, you're sending out a mixed signal. Your energy becomes like someone standing at a fork in the road, placing one foot forward and pulling the other back. And the universe simply waits for you to become clear. Florence once counseled a woman who had lost all her money in a failed investment. The woman said, "I believe God will restore me, but I'm still so anxious." Florence replied, "You are like a person who tries to drive a car with the brake on. You're trying to move forward but haven't released the handbrake. You can't say I have faith and still carry the thought. But what if it doesn't happen? Faith doesn't have to be huge. It only needs to be real, a moment where you release fear and let the light lead." So how do we build true faith? 1. Start with the smallest things. Florence always encouraged beginning with simple experiments. Believe you'll find a perfect parking spot when you need it. Believe a surprise gift will come to you today. Believe good news is on its way this afternoon. Each time it happens, and you're strengthening your faith muscle. Bit by bit, you build an inner foundation that nothing can shake. 2. Sustain faith through personal rituals. No one can hold unwavering belief with logic alone. That's why you create gentle, sacred rituals to reconnect with trust. In the morning, place your hand on your heart and say, "Today, I choose to trust that what I need is already on its way." When feeling uncertain, close your eyes and whisper, "I walk by faith, not by sight." Write down your biggest fear and write over it what you choose to believe instead. 3. Faith isn't about doing more. It's about letting go at the right moment. Florence emphasized man must prepare for the thing he has asked for when there isn't the slightest sign of it in sight. You pray for a new job. Prepare a drawer for your future employee badge. You pray for a loving relationship. Live as someone already loved. You pray for an opportunity. Walk, speak, dress as someone who's already stepping into it. That's living faith with action, not from pressure but from joyful expectation. Let your faith become a light for others. You don't need to prove your belief, but you can share the small things you're choosing to believe to ignite faith in someone else walking this same path. Leave a comment under this video. I choose to believe that Examples. I choose to believe that every challenge is clearing the way for a miracle. I choose to believe I am already enough, even if I don't see it yet. I choose to believe I am healing cell by cell, emotion by emotion. Even one line of faith can reach a heart that's quietly struggling. And if you're still listening to this, now let me say this to you. You've already come so far on your journey of transformation. By choosing to listen to, open your heart to believe, instead of fear, you are the light in your own life. In the final part, I'll help you lock in this entire process with a simple formula blending intuition, speech, imagination, faith, and emotion into a conscious, loving method for creating the life you desire. The journey isn't over, it's just beginning. A gentle goodbye, a powerful beginning. Dear friend, if you've stayed with me until this moment, I believe a seed has already been planted in your heart. Maybe it's a new awareness. Maybe it's a flicker of hope. Or maybe it's simply a soft, quiet space where you're allowed to breathe again and to believe again. Together, we've walked through a journey of uncovering spiritual laws that may be invisible, yet shape our visible lives in every moment. From the law of cause and effect, where every belief, emotion, image, and word is a seed, to the powerful transmitters like imagination, vibration, and affirmation. And above all, to the sacred choice of faith, even when things still seem unclear. Florence once wrote, "I now let go of worn-out conditions and worn-out things. Divine order is established in my mind, body, and affairs. And so can you." You don't need a miracle to happen overnight. You only need a simple decision. To begin planting a new thought, holding a new vision, speaking a new belief just a little each day. The universe will take care of the rest. Today you can begin with a whisper, "I am fertile ground, and I choose to plant seeds of light. I am the creator of my reality. I am loved, supported, and divinely guided." These words, small as they may seem, when nurtured with steady trust, can bloom into gardens more beautiful than anything you've ever dared to imagine. If this message touched your heart, I invite you to share what you're choosing to plant today in the comments below. Write today, "I choose to plant in my life." Examples: I choose to plant peace. I choose to plant unwavering faith. I choose to plant healing words. Even a single sentence connects your energy with hundreds, even thousands of others, all awakening, all healing, all seeking truth, just like you. And if you found value in what I've shared, remember, subscribe to this channel and continue walking with us on the path inspired by Florence Scovel Shinn, a way of life rooted in inner power, divine faith, and intentional speech. You won't just receive weekly messages, you'll be part of a sacred space where you are held, nourished, and reminded of the light within you. Before I close, let me leave you with a quote I hold close whenever life feels unclear. Every great work, every big accomplishment has been brought into manifestation through holding to the vision, and often just before the big achievement comes apparent failure and discouragement. So hold your vision, even if the outside world hasn't caught up yet. Because the most beautiful breakthroughs often arrive right after the moment we almost give up. I believe you are closer than you know to what you've been praying for. Just keep sowing and sow with light. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll dive deeper into the timeless wisdom of the secret door to success and begin unlocking the life you were always meant to live. Are you ready to step through that door?